3, 2, 1.
In this episode of Split Screen, we are recapping Prizzi's Honor, where a hitman for the mafia falls in love and then eventually finds out he needs to assassinate his new love. This is Split Screen. Split Screen.
Split Screen.
I'm Tony,
And I'm Don.
and we are recapping Prizzi's
Yeah,
Honor.
we're doing a classic.
Yeah, another one of those old ones.
Yeah, another one that Don picked.
That's right. So you're going to get high quality when it comes to these classic movies.
No buddies here.
No.
Well, not yet. Don't worry. One generation has buddies.
Oh, I'm sure.
But now they're cult classics.
Mm.
Maybe buddies be a cult classic.
Maybe it's a cult classic to some. All right. So, like I said, I think so. 1.1. I'm going right into 3 points.
3 points.
This is a jam-packed movie. There's a lot going on, a lot of characters, a lot of motivations, some double crosses. It's a pretty hefty movie to understand where the plot kind of turns because certain characters just make certain decisions and they throw off the course of everything. This whole story could have turned out way better than it did, but because certain stubbornness or addictions to money or needing money just kind of nosedives it.
Corrupt in this.
Yeah.
Kathleen Turner was just, she seemed to be in it for the money,
Mm-hmm.
even though she did like Jack Nicholson.
She loved money more.
Yeah.
That was her first love, Charlie. Yeah.
But, well, maybe her second, because remember, Jack Nicholson and Charlie, murdered her husband.
Yeah. She was dating some
They
guy
were
named
both
Heller.
assassins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both assassins for their.
That was the surprise.
Yeah.
I feel like they took Mr. and Mrs. Smith from this. Like they got this the last part and said, you know what? That should be the whole movie. Them fighting.
Yeah, we'll make it less intelligent. We'll put really good looking people in it.
Yeah.
That's Mrs. and Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yeah. No, you're completely right about that.
Yep. So that's my 1 and 2. First part, jam-packed movie, a lot to look forward to. You need to pay attention because if you miss certain parts, you do kind of miss important things with the characters because those things come back later. They still mean something. What was said is brought up from the past. We're dealing with just the whole backstory with May Rose and their past relationship and how that ended and how that was kind of like the extra love story underneath was kind of her coming back into the family, despite the fact that she not kind of framed him with the father.
She didn't kind of she framed Kathleen Turner because she wanted Kathleen Turner out of the way. That's why she took the photos to him, because she knew that she needed to get her killed.
Yeah, but she also framed Charlie by going to her father and acting like he had abused her, which led him to hiring her.
I think she just wanted to torture her father. That was the whole thing. That she wanted back in the family, but she just hated her dad so much.
Yeah.
She did such a great job.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for talking to you.
Yeah. But what's cool with that is that led to him being hired as the assassin, like him hiring Kathleen Turner as the assassin to kill him because of what he did. So it's like there's a cause and effect. Yeah, for every single character. And so it's just really well written. Yeah, that's my 3.
All right. Well, my 3 is I'm gonna go with the acting. I mean, Kathleen Turner back in 1985 when this was released. It was after Romancing the Stone. I don't know if you remember that one. Yeah, no. Everybody loved Kathleen Turner at the time. She was in a lot of big movies, and she had a husky voice, and she was sexy and sultry, and she did a great job playing the money stealing assassin, love interest, and you have the other side of Angelica Houston, who, what was her character's name? May Rose.
Yeah.
She was bad. She was probably, I would think she was the worst out of the bunch, because she originally was Jack Nicholson's fiance.
Yeah.
And she ended up running off with basically the pool boy.
Yeah, she cheated on him because he was dancing too close to another girl.
Yeah, and so she got excommunicated from the family,
Mhm.
but she wanted back in the family, and she wanted Charlie back.
Yeah.
And so she just when Charlie meets her after he had fallen in love with Kathleen Turner, and she gets on the floor and she's like, "You wanna do me, Charlie?
Mhm.
Wanna do me right
Right
here?"
here, yeah.
And then later on, she's putting makeup on in order to make herself, uh, uh, seem like a beaten
Mhm.
woman in front of her father at
Yeah.
she gives him that glass of alcohol, when he's, just about to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Just great acting. I'll say Jack Nicholson did a good job,
Mhm.
but Jack Nicholson was Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
He had a interesting accent, sure, but he was what he was,
Mhm.
and you get to see some butt cleavage on him because he's in a shower at the end crying. And Don Prizzi,
Mhm.
now he did a great job,
He
and
did.
he got nominated for Academy Award. Do you know? So he plays the elder statesman of the family. He's the top, and he's the
An old
oldest.
pup master.
And he acts like an old decrepit man. He was in his mid-50s when he did this movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you would have no idea.
Nice.
And he was old when he was young,
Mhm.
but he did such a good year. Every scene that he was in was just awesome. I mean, absolutely amazing. His mannerisms, the way he talked, the mood, just fantastic. You couldn't get enough of him. And then the supporting cast, I mean, solid character actors that
Mhm.
came in, did their work, did it well, and contributed to the whole of making this kind of amazing movie.
Mhm.
I loved it. So that was a long one. And two, the story. I like the humor in the story. I like the fact that it's kind of messed up because it starts out Jack Nicholson meeting her at a wedding,
Mhm.
and she has to take off immediately, while they were dancing because she's a hired hitman,
Yep. And then he's looking for her.
but then she's also stealing money from the Prizzis through their casinos with her husband on the West Coast in Los
Yeah.
Angeles. So Jack Nicholson gets hired to go kill him and the wife, but he doesn't know that that's Kathleen Turner's the wife of the guy.
Yeah.
So they fall madly in love, get married. She becomes part of the family, gets involved with the hit because they're going to kidnap a banker.
Yep.
Because there's a whole banking thing that they own certain amount of.
Yeah, he's stealing,
He's stealing.
embezzling.
And so they're gonna get the insurance money. She ends up killing the police chief's wife.
Yeah, she
Mm.
goes on the wrong floor accidentally during the
Yeah.
operation.
Angelica Houston's doing her shenanigans behind him,
Mhm.
while all this stuff's going on, and it's just, like, nonstop
Yeah.
the entire time. I mean, and it's not a short movie. It's over
Mhm.
2 hours.
It's a lot of information.
And yeah, and, the ending was completely set. It's probably, I would say, one of my favorite endings in a movie ever. Because both of them know it. By the end, both of them know they've been hired to kill each other,
Mhm.
and even though Kathleen Turner wants to just pack up with the money and run, Jack Nicholson is still part of the family,
Yeah.
and he has to make a choice, and Kathleen Turner knows that hers Irene, she
Yeah.
knows that he has to do that, so she's gonna take him out, and yeah, no, it's a great ending,
Mhm.
and it's kinda sad, but at the same time, the very last scene in the movie is Angelica Houston on the phone, May Rose on the
Mhm.
phone, you know, Charlie's calling her up and wanting to get back together.
She got
Got everything she
everything she
wanted.
wanted,
Yeah.
including making her dad feel disrespected because she talked so vulgar in front of him with all her nasty
Yeah,
antics.
but just great. I mean, just the humor and everything else wrapped in, and
Mhm.
I would say, what would be my 3rd? Um, because I pretty much covered with those 2. I mean, I
Mhm.
probably spilled over into the 3rd quite a bit. Um I don't know, I just the car.
Including
There's a
hers.
certain charm about movies made at this time. There's no cell phones.
Mhm.
There's no, Ice Cube on the computer.
Yeah.
Um,
The movie screen is your first screen, not like how Netflix says they make movies
yeah,
for the second screen, because your first screen is your phone.
the cars were great. They looked. I mean, the whole thing looked great. The
Mhm.
movie looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't praise this movie enough. And again, this was another, childhood favorite. Not same level as like Amadeus and that kind of stuff, but it was up there just because we were all in love with Kathleen Turner at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too many years later, Jack Nicholson went on to play the Joker. Like, no, 4 years later, 1989.
Well,
Yeah. So yeah, no, he was on the verge of. He's probably already in talks to be the Joker.
yeah, at that point.
Yeah. Huh. Kind of interesting.
Mhm.
But
But that's
anyway, I
so
pretty much told the story there, dude.
you did. You went through the whole thing. That's how you know Don likes it. Don has watched it enough, he's ready to just read.
This is a very memorable movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I just, I mean, just everything. The acting, the some of the dialogue,
Mhm.
the story, the
Yeah.
comedy, the dark satire comedy. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could say a lot more. One thing I will say is I think people should probably watch this movie and some older movies because there's something about when you write characters and they have such clear motivations and in how you play with those motivations as circumstances change. Like every single character did something somewhat pretty believable
Yeah.
in the scope of what they could do from, what's his name? Dominic May Rose's father. Like being fine getting rid of Charlie, because not only did Charlie, dishonor his wife, I mean not his wife, his daughter, by, the relationship ending and this, but also Charlie's moving in on his territory. Charlie's not even a real part of the family. He's like adopted in via being the assassin.
Godson or
Yeah, got some this. So he's not even a real Prizzi, but he has all this notoriety and respect. So you kind of hates him for that. So there's so many, again, the word layers makes the most sense where every character has like 3 or 4 things going on with them and that intention fights as it goes on. Irene, she's in love, she's in love. Ooh, but money. She's loving in love. Oh, there's this heist. Let me insert myself into it when she didn't have to. Because even
Yeah, she's just
Charlie.
being a good wife,
Yeah.
a good assassin wife, helping out.
Yeah.
That was such a great scene. So I did have to mention that scene, and I watched Cisco Neighbor, and they brought it up as well. She's cooking dinner
Mhm.
as a wife, and they're discussing their plans to kidnap this banker.
Yeah.
And she just comes over and she goes, "You know what? You need a woman on this. Come in. I'll be holding the baby. I'll toss the baby. Every man catches a baby. We'll shoot him in the head, and then we'll go." And they're like, "That's a good idea." And then she goes back to making dinner
Yeah.
because her job is being an assassin. It's like it was just a typical day at work for her.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's like that's clear, beautiful writing right
Yeah.
there.
But it's even deeper than that because if we fast forward later on where the Dawn is kind of like, because one of the things that happened too is that she is the one that killed Luis, which is the person who was running that other facility. So part of the reason there was so much heat was because Luis died. That's what May Rose ends up finding out was that she was the one, thanks to, I guess she is some streetwalker in a whatever, Turning John saw her. So there's so much intricate. You could use a whiteboard and be like,
Yeah, right. You're right.
because there's like 3 or 4 things
I
every
imagine when they
character,
wrote this, that's exactly what they did.
3 or 4 things every character, and it's changing all the time. So then we get to the part where May Rose reveals to the Dawn or someone that it was Irene who did it. So now Irene definitely had the money, and she also killed Luis. So this was all like her, kind of. So then he gives her the luxury of, we would have took care of you otherwise, but because you're marrying Charlie, you're the fiance, we're going to give you some sort of, leeway. Give me the money back. And then when we speed past that, and they're ready to practically turn her in because she killed the police chief's wife, she's a good fall girl for it. They're getting pressure from the police. The other crime families are kind of like coming after them because they're getting like there's a lot. Like
A lot going on.
I'm not kidding, there's a ton. You have to pay attention to this.
I have to ask, it makes me curious because, you were only 1 years old when it came out. So this isn't your time. This movie wasn't made in your time, but something like The Town was. Now, not, now I'm not saying that The Town is a good movie.
It's a comparison. Oh, I know you're not saying it's
Because
a good
it's
movie.
it's along the same genre, mafia family, East Coast kind of
Mm.
stuff.
Love story.
Do you think that they would ever be able to write a movie like this today, or are we stuck with something like The Town?
We're stuck with stuff like The Town
Because
because the quality of The Town, you see it in every other
has the quality in
movie.
writing gone down that much, and we can't have another Prizzi's Honor,
Yeah.
and we're stuck with Ben Affleck with a stupid ass Boston accent,
He wanted the movie to be longer than this
I
one
I know it was
because
what was it, like 10 hours or something like
it
that?
was something really ridiculous.
This was over 2 hours. I think it was like 2 hours, 30 minutes. This is a long movie,
Yeah, it's a lot.
but it did not feel long at all. The Town felt like an eternity,
Yeah.
and it was cut down. So, but, being that you're out of time and you're watching these movies, basically, 1985 versus 2010 when that came
Mhm.
out, you can see the difference between the 2. I mean, it's a stark difference, and The Town is just one of many that have come out like that. I mean, there was another one that had Jack Nicholson in it, where he was also another mafia guy on the East Coast,
Hmm.
with, what's that Titanic, loser's name? Or the
Leonardo
one from
DiCaprio?
M. Bourne, Ma Matt
Matt
Damon.
Damon. Oh, his friend. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that movie.
Their only good movie was Dogma.
Why is it? Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's sad to me that again, while this movie isn't forgotten, it is forgotten by the overall public,
Yeah.
and it really shouldn't. And the people writing today, this should be something they should study.
Mhm.
Whether they think it's good or bad, they need to study it for character, for style, for just everything, for
Yeah.
details. Because this had so much more detail. The Town had no detail in it.
No, none.
This was all detail,
Mhm.
all the time. The Town had no character act. The Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, he's
Yeah.
the Town. He had no character. He was just an accent that they put in that role for that specific thing. But you look at, uh, um, Don Prizzi.
Mhm.
I mean, he was all character, all
Yeah.
depth. I mean, all presence.
Mhm.
Totally out. The Town had the flower guy, the guy in the flower shop who ran their crime syndicate.
Yeah.
He didn't have any other trait.
No.
His trait is to cut up flowers
Yeah.
and then say, "Oh, the
Front.
bad person,
That's the
you gotta be
front.
careful."
I'm just a flower guy,
But
but behind
that's
the
such
scenes.
bad writing compared to what we used to have to now,
Mhm.
and it's sad.
Yeah. There's a lot more. You notice this with things like the Victoria and other older films because attention is not expected to be diverted. You think people's eyes are glued 100%. You think they're paying attention. So you make sure everything there means
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
Where now it's kind of like, oh, someone can nod off or someone can look at their phone. And so you leave these big gaps of nothing so that people can chime in for a few seconds and then jump out
You mean
and then chime in.
like Ben Affleck's, relationship in The Town? I mean, there was no point to that.
Yeah.
It was just there.
And half the time he was stalking her. It's such a creepy thing anyway. Like it's not lovely to like stalk her.
To fall in love with her. It didn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
So
You understood why Jack Nicholson and Kathleen Turner instinctively knew that they wanted each other. They were enamored, and it was probably because they were both hitmen.
yeah.
They both had an understanding of each other's world, and it made them more attractive. They were both strong. And that's another thing. Kathleen Turner was strong. She was still a woman. She was not overpowered. She was not stronger than Jack Nicholson, just like Jack Nicholson wasn't stronger than she was.
Mm.
They were pretty much equal. And today, you wouldn't get that kind of writing in a movie. You would get, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where they're both superpowered or whatever,
Yeah.
stupid thing like that. Or the woman is just a bit more cunning than the man and more skilled at, tossing over 300-pound bodybuilding and, that kind of shit. Yeah, assault, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So no, again, I'm glad that you enjoyed this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice to me to introduce a movie that, that you've never seen. And did you even hear of this movie before? I don't think so.
I had no idea it existed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I succeeded. I'll succeed on the bad one too. I only am like 2 or 3 bad ones because he's picked some real stinkers.
I don't pick anything that the
Bodies,
people
bodies.
or the Netflix algorithm
I
has
don't
said
know these
was good.
people. I've never met these people. I
The
don't want
the
to meet these people.
audience, the people who loved, weapons, those people. You like to think that if there's some overwhelming majority about something, maybe someone's right, and then you're disappointed, or they were lying to you. Or, like we mentioned, I think the bar has just lowered. There's this new thing where things don't deserve your time, or a piece of media doesn't deserve your full commitment. You always have this ability to check out or change your mind or get out of something. So these movies, I feel, represent that, because that's why there's just so much space or so much meandering, or let's watch someone walk multiple times through something. It's just like this space, because if they wanted a really good movie, all that would be more important. There'd be more character development, more anything. And there's nothing. And so you do that enough, well, you set a new bar, and now we get all this stuff. I'm glad you understand. I'm telling you, it's about the bar lowering.
100%.
Mhm.
100%. It's just like the horror. I mean, we watch some modern horror, and you watch the classics like The Evil Dead. There's a lot more detail in those movies,
Yeah.
the modern horrors that we get today, like Until Dawn,
Mhm.
and while I didn't despise the movie, it doesn't have any detail like
No.
Evil Dead or even Cabin in the Woods, which came out 20 years
Mhm.
ago. So, yeah, I agree. So, are we ready to rate this?
Sure.
All right. Go ahead. Give me a rating. I'm curious.
Ooh, compared to other things. Mhm. Probably a 5. I give it a 5. I give it a 5 because
I didn't
the
realize you
ca
liked it that much.
well
That's a lot. Yeah.
well, because I can respect the talent and just how smart it was, and how every little detail was so important, and how I could see a character's actions and kinda could guess where they were going because I understood them.
It was written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's good writing. Some people get upset when you can kinda tell where things are going. You can tell where things are going because there's nothing there. So there's nothing for you to foresee. But this was like, I knew it. I knew she was gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew from the get she was too much about it. She would bring it up too much. And the reason I bring up the fact that that scene with her jumping in, I don't think I finished that point. Yeah. The scene where she jumps into the operation is not only because she was a good wife. It's brought up later because she thinks her part in the operation was worth money, so she shouldn't have to pay back the debt
Yeah.
because that was her part, and they would never did
A
it.
lot of depth, a lot
Yeah.
of things going on, and it's such a small, subtle thing.
So it was still about the money. It seems, "Oh, I'm a good wife," but no, she literally could have paid off the money and they could have left. She kept talking about how she wanted to leave with the money, and they were on that train and they could have left, and he said, "Sure, let's go," and she said, "Well,
It's
I feel I should get my money back from my portion."
I have to say, the only mistake that I see in the movie is if she was such a good hitman, like she was, why did she go back to her house that he had originally killed her husband instead of just going to a hotel room? Because at the end, she can't leave because she's leaving to China, but she can't leave until the morning because she has to go to the bank to pull out her money to take with her.
Mhm.
So instead of going to some anonymous hotel where she can't be found, she goes back to the house where Jack Nicholson can find her. I didn't mind that because they needed the ending, but it was a thought that hit my head. Well, she's supposed to be smart. She would have thought
Yeah.
of every
I thought the
contingency.
ending, they were actually out of the country.
If they were in Los Angeles. Don't you remember the Pan Am, the plane that kept going from
Mm.
East Coast to West Coast?
I didn't think that was the
That
same
was supposed to be
house.
comedy. Yeah, no,
Uh,
she went back
mm,
to Los Angeles to pick up her money.
'Cause, like,
We're
he
back to
was
the house.
laying in bed like he was about to sleep, so they were
Yeah,
literally in that
we're back in the house.
weird.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. Now, don't you remember he comes into the front door and she greets him at the front door?
Yeah.
It's the same foyer that
Oh, so
and like, why would you
look, I was already keeping track
come up?
of, like, 700 things going on in this movie.
It's followed up with the most perfect death scene in a movie.
Knife to throat. Yeah.
No, no, that was great. I loved it. I loved it, and I'll give it a 5 as well. I mean, 40 years later, this is still an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This should
It's
be
better with time.
yeah, this should be studied. Well, it's definitely gonna be better because its value goes up. Movies like this value go up as you realize everything else is just being so lowered. So they become, more on a pedestal. And I think people should study this stuff because if you want to make money and, you want to sell stuff and you have a vision or something you want to share, you need to do it well like this.
Yeah.
The writing, I could not I could on writing alone, I could give this a 5 because the characters were that tight. If it failed in other things, I may not even necessarily care. It's only extra points that the acting was phenomenal and that every character played a pretty major role. You were not introduced to anyone
Yeah,
that
you're right.
didn't mean something in the span of time. You almost think May Rose is a throwaway character. No, she
She's
initiates.
not even in it that much.
No.
She has such a huge presence
Yeah.
throughout the entire movie.
And that's true. People can always have bigger impacts than maybe you feel or see,
Yeah.
but can totally
Wait,
throw things
going
up
back to the
differently.
town, Ben Affleck's girlfriend, she had no presence. None whatsoever. She was just there because they wrote her in because he needed her to be in there so he can doubt his choices and
Yeah,
get out of like that was it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it helped them.
Angelica Houston was a player in this. Her part's only a few minutes throughout the entire thing, probably collected, just a few minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's night and day
Mhm.
what these two people are.
Yeah.
It's just
The characters all have something that I think we lack in real life, which is ambition. They have big, lofty goals, whether it's to be the next Don, whether it's to make more money, whether it's to be in love and sacrifice for it, which is what Charlie was ready to do multiple times. They all have something, May Rose, she wants to be back in the family and she wants Charlie.
yeah.
Good for her for getting everything she wanted. She's the real winner of this whole thing. So fantastic. I would just on down low, yeah.
All right. So I guess we're done.
Yeah.
So like, comment, and subscribe.
Recommend it. Watch it.
Yeah. No,
Especially if you like to write or do characters. It's good stuff.
yeah. Go ahead and write us. Tell us how much you love it. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. What I mean?
Ask
Find your own
yourself
fate.
why. You're a human person with a brain. You can do better than not liking this movie. You can do a lot better than that. There's plenty of movies you should not like. This should be one of them. You should love it.
Like the town.
Yeah. And dude, this is trending stuff. He says I bring combat movies. I see trending or popular things. This is y'all fault. And so I bring it to it so we can have this discussion. So you guys can see us tell you what a bad movie is and then what a great movie is.
Anyway, let's not make excuses for your choices.
No.
And we're out of here. Let's go ahead. We're going to talk about how hot Kathleen Turner was. Did you find your hot?
No.
Her. Yeah, how could you not find that sultry voice, that husky voice? She was Jessica Rabbit. And
That makes sense. Yeah.
did you know that?
I think I did.
You probably did, but you probably didn't put a face to it.
No. I just saw Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, no. She back in the 80s, she was a very big sex symbol. I mean, watching her in this movie, she's very beautiful, but she's a unique beauty. She's not, some glamorous, which is what I also liked about movies back then because, they weren't, a Scarlett Johansson with a perfect skin and that kind of stuff. Because if you watch Lucy, she's just perfect the entire time. They had character in their face. They were beautiful because of their character, and because of their sultry voice.
Well, the characters too were confident. They all had a
It
presence.
also makes them sexy.
Yeah, their confidence made this. She didn't doubt much of anything at all. Compared to the
She knew her job. She knew
Yeah.
she was good at her job. And
think of the women we just saw in Weapons. All of them weird, off, strange, something up, insecure, upset about something, mad someone cheated. This is
one.
all of them.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The oversight. I didn't understand that in Weapons. The white girlfriend trying to get pregnant. She looks like a house. She looked like she's.
I don't know. And how
So Kathleen Turner or any of the women in Weapons.
you'd want Kathleen Turner because you're not going to worry about that. You can talk to her openly. She's going to accept it as it is. She's going to let you know how she feels. She is playing you. So they ain't going to trust. Maybe not. But for the most part, she's going to tell you how it is. There's no guesswork and no eggshells. And
Have you seen Romancing the Stone?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Well, we're going to add that. So we're going to add that. So we're gonna watch Romancing the Stone, and with that, we're gonna be out of here. Countdown to 3, 2, 1.
We are split screen. We are reviewing the movie. We are reviewing the movie on split screen.